Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
I'm Christian.
I'm so glad that Christian's back.
Oh my man!
Because I have to do so much more work when he's gone. I literally did no actual work, but yeah, it seems like he does a lot. So I'm glad you're back, dude.
Nice. Thank you. Happy to be back.
Yeah.
All right.
So a couple thank yous we have to send out. Jake, thank you for becoming a $5 member. And Mobius, thanks for the upgrade, bro. I didn't even think you listened anymore. And here you are upgrading to the $18. I think he wants to do that just so he can make us play a game. He's going to make us play some bullshit. I can almost guarantee it. This is all a troll, guys. It's all a troll.
Quite possibly. And we've got Cricket Soldier subbing 21 months. Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks, man.
And he's also the guy that's it's Cricket Soldier. If you see him, he's kind of a big deal on our server, on our Discord. He's the man behind the plan, the DLG Con. We have a house. I'm in talks with the owner or the property manager with it, and we have 13 confirmed people. It can sleep up to 16, so there's like 3 slots left. So if you want to come on down, you got to get on this. Like, this is probably the last week. So 13 confirmed. That's great. That's going to be our biggest turnout ever. I think putting it in Vegas might be a good move, huh, Bobby?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We had a lot of people at the last one, but that was also TwitchCon.
Yeah.
Or not the last one, but the first one.
Yeah, first one.
Okay.
Next year, you guys should go to Atlantic City. Step it up a notch. Just the East Coast.
Where would be the best DLG con ever? Like, anywhere in the world you get to pick.
Macau.
Ibiza?
What's Macau?
It makes Vegas look like a piece of shit, dude. It's the Asian.
Like Dubai?
No, like so honestly, it would probably be, Japan. I mean, there's so many video games and arcades that we wouldn't. You know what I mean? I think
DLG
Japan.
does Japan. That could be a good
we should
movie.
just get a cabin out in the middle of the wilderness. Just hope nobody gets all shining on us.
Here's looking at you, Recycled.
Jesus.
What's up, buddy?
Well, let's start with our on the radar section. So games that have come to our attention recently. I feel like we should just get this out of the way. The Steam Deck was announced. We knew Valve was making some sort of version of the Nintendo Switch, their own version of it. And that's basically what the Steam Deck is. You can reserve it now for $5, but eventually when they do come out, I think in December they're aiming, it's going to be $500 minimum. Oh, I'm sorry, $400 minimum. We're looking at Canadian prices here, which is kind of a hefty price point, it seems. But when you take into account what all this does, it's actually not that bad. And Gabe Newell has said we're taking a loss on these, which is par for the course for consoles, right? Like they usually take a loss on the consoles, make the money back with the games. But it's not just, we've seen these before, like the NVIDIA Shield, where you can remotely play your games or you have this handheld device. This is actually a little computer with a screen and joystick controllers.
Joysticks and touchpads.
Yeah, joysticks and touchpads. It can do quite a bit. You can get a dock with it as well. That's not available yet, but will eventually. And the dock will allow you to hook it up to a big screen TV. You can plug in Ethernet. You can plug in USB. So if you want to hook up like a wireless controller or something. It does have Bluetooth for other wireless controllers.
I don't think you need the dock. Can't you just HDMI straight into a TV? Does anybody know this for a fact?
I thought it's mini HDMI to HDMI.
Yeah.
Like you have to go the small one.
Maybe the dock will, you can sit it in there and it'll charge at the same time. Maybe, but I think.
Yeah, probably. Well, the dock said it does HDMI 2.0 and DisplayPort. So you can push a lot through HDMI 2.0 and DisplayPort especially. But you're saying the device itself has a mini HDMI out?
Yeah, I believe it does, but I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
So did you throw down your hard-earned $5, Bobby? Or is this even, it's not really for you, right?
No. I do love this concept because it is the Switch. It's the Nintendo Switch, but it's for Steam. Yeah.
Us.
Yeah, it's for PC gamers.
Listen, basically, if you've listened to more than 3 episodes of this, it's for you. Basically. There's no
Well,
PC gamers that aren't Steam members.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Like, you still have to. This works well because you can play the games remotely. You download them straight into this, and you could connect to Wi Fi and play like your online games, but you could just play the games offline on this device as
Yeah.
well. And it's locally loaded. You don't have to do the remote play. Or you could hook it up like a Switch. You could hook it up to a big screen very easily and just use it as like a console, basically. But I still don't have any need for something like this.
Right.
This-
For me, I mean, as soon as I saw, I put an alarm on my phone, and I was like, you know, we're not big on pre-orders over here, but it's different when it comes to hardware. I feel like, especially now with the resellers and how they've been working. So that's it. Even says like this is why we're taking the $5 because we don't want the resellers to like dominate the market.
They're going through a lot of extra steps to prevent this huge problem that we have right now in the industry where you just can't buy things because they get bought up so fast and sold through eBay or whatever. So it's one per customer per Steam account. And yeah, you got to put $5 down.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like a way around that, but that still, I'm glad that they're taking this step to try and prevent people from just buying up all of these.
Yeah, absolutely.
You also like it's awesome that you can't even buy it as a new Steam account. Like you had to have bought something on Steam from July 1st. So you can't just make a new Steam account and get this. You have to have kind of had a Steam account. So
They really thought it through, and you know, it's a problem that needs to be combated. And people are talking shit about it. Whatever, it's got to be combated, or otherwise you're going to end up spending $1,000 for one of these, and you're not going to do it. I went for the cheapest one. One, because it's the cheapest one, and two, is because it has a micro SD card slot, so you can expand the storage to, you know, those things come in terabytes now, so you can just put a terabyte chip in there and, you know, be good. So
This is a micro SD compared to like an SSD.
speed wise, I guess I've read that there's different versions of micro SD cards. So you can, not micro, but mini SD cards. You can go to, you know, they have different speeds as well, just like other memory.
SSDs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the higher price, you're getting more storage space, but I think the actual hard drive is different. I think when you upgrade to the second or third one, you get an NVMe drive as well, so much faster. Now, 64 gigs, that's pretty good if you're playing indie stuff, but there's some games that you wouldn't be able to fit on that.
And here's the thing. I know what I'm going to be playing on this. It's going to be Binding of Isaac. It's going to be card-based roguelikes, stuff like that. Those are my time killers anyway, right?
Yeah.
Something big that I want to explore, let's say like a new Fallout.
Well, how well could a device like this handle a AAA game? That's what I'm
apparently it
wondering.
can.
Well,
That's
it's probably
the
using an
curiosity.
extremely small resolution on the device
I
itself.
believe it's 720. Yeah.
Okay, but when you hook it up to like a
big TV.
55-inch TV screen that's running 4K, like how does it handle that? Because I remember hooking up your Switch to my TV and being a little disappointed in the graphics on the big screen. It looked okay on the Switch, but on the big screen, not that great.
You know, it's funny. I was playing Sam was playing Binding of Isaac on the big screen today, the 65-inch out there, and I was like, man, this looks great, but it's like, you know, 16-bit graphics, so of course it looks good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I can't wait till we see some benchmarks on this, I guess is what I'm saying.
I've seen, so based on, I've seen some reviews. Zap posted a review by a hardware expert, and he said the value proposition on this is through the roof. Basically, what you're getting for the money is just insane and can't be competed with. You're basically getting something close to a Series X Xbox, the newest Xbox, but it's portable. And this thing's not petite in any way. Like, this thing is like
Pretty chunky.
it's chunky, and it's even bigger than the Switch, which the Switch is like pretty big when you have the side controllers on, and this is even bigger than that. But I have no complaints about it. This is exactly what I need in my life, especially with these night shifts and these like downtimes. Guys, my reviews are going to be so fucking good if I get this in my hands and I'm working nights.
Do we know what the screen size is, like the diagonal measurement on that?
I believe it's, no. Well, I know it's a 7-inch screen. I believe that's the diagonal measurement, right?
Oh, really? It's only 7 inches?
Yeah, it's not huge. This guy that I saw the review of, he was saying that they had to make it so big to dissipate a lot of the heat. And to get all those controls in there because they went with so many different control options.
There's so many buttons on this thing.
Yeah.
So many buttons. You see all the triggers on the back? There's like 8 trigger buttons.
Is it really? I thought it was only 4.
There might be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I think there's 8.
Wow.
Yeah, if you look on the back of that thing, you've got 2 trigger buttons right here on your middle finger. And then you've got the thumb bumper things up there. You've got 2 of them up there as well on each side. So
Damn.
4 and 4.
Damn. Can't wait to play an RTS on this thing, right?
Yeah.
Am I right,
Well,
guys?
a big
Total War
concern
on this thing.
when the Steam controller came out, they did that same trackpad thing instead of the D-pad. People hated it.
It
Did not
didn't
work.
do well.
Now, I've seen people talking about this and said, no, they fixed it. It's actually really good on this. So hopefully, I mean, if you look at the hardware specs, they didn't spare any expense on this. It's got everything. It's got Bluetooth 5.0. Like everything is just very modern. It's almost like an Apple product.
This is what I was saying. Like, it would have to be half as good as what they're saying for me not to like it. Because if it'll run Binding of Isaac, it saves almost. It's so good for my life, basically. It's
You know, Binding of Isaac's on Switch, right?
yeah, but no, is Repentance? No, it's not.
What were those
remind
old
me. Still
handheld
waiting.
games that were just like they had like one solid background and the characters were like these gray little figures? They had a name. They were like Capcom or like Konami had a Ninja Turtles one that I used to play all the time. You know what I'm talking about. You were
I missed the
old enough.
beginning of what you were saying.
So there are these handheld devices and they have a name. I want to say Capcom or maybe it started with an N.
Namco?
Namco. They might be Namco. But there were these little portable devices that I used to play all the time, like back in the 90s. But the graphics were pretty much non-existent. It was like a stenciled.
Stenciled, yeah, it was pre-existing.
Yeah, it was like a TI-83. Yeah.
Is it this?
Oh, no. Wait. Oh, I saw it. Down to the right. No, stop hitting that button. Down to the right. Down one more row. To the right,
This.
to the right, to the right. Nope. Down. Stop clicking on things. To the right, down one.
This is good for audio listeners.
Yep.
This.
Yeah, no, this is
Nope.
gonna be a
You keep
scene
clicking
we're
on
gonna
things.
have.
Nope. Down one. Just listen
Yep.
to what I'm saying. To the right.
Yes.
Nope. Stop clicking
You're
on
being
things.
very condescending. No, we're done. We're done with this. We're not showing it.
It's the one with
It's
the
right
blue.
there. Yeah, it's the white one.
Yeah,
and
you
the
know what I'm
purple.
talking about.
Yeah.
Like in the 90s, those were everywhere.
So the screen it didn't have pixels. It had places where images could appear.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it was
became
like, think of a
solid or
calculator.
lit up.
Yeah, calculator.
It was like a calculator.
Yeah.
That's what the characters were on it. They were like the digits on a calculator.
I don't know if you know this, Bobby, but like in Smash Brothers, one of the characters is one of those guys.
Yeah,
So
the
he's like a
Jin
stick
one.
figure
Oh, really?
that can do.
Yeah, he has one of the strongest moves in the game.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Dude, I loved those games. I had like 3 of them. I used to play them all the time. It would have blown my mind where we're at today.
Just saying, real quick, Christian. Young Jamie on the Joe Rogan show never says no, Joe. I'm not going to look that up. I'm just saying. and Joe just bought him a Tesla, so just so you know.
Okay. Well, when Bobby buys me a Tesla, maybe our relationship will change to that end.
He's not even doing $50 phone calls, man.
Yeah. Okay, guys, but the one thing that this disrupts, I think, is like Xbox Game Pass and the Epic Store. Like I don't want any games on there anymore because of the chance that I could just bring them mobile on this, you know?
Well,
Wait,
if
what?
you have the Epic Store, no, Origin ports into Steam. The Epic Store and the Game Pass doesn't.
You're saying that the lack of Game Pass is going to be an issue?
No, not an issue for me not to get this. Like I don't like.
You don't want
I
to
don't
get
want
Game
games-
Pass now.
Yeah, like I don't want games not on Steam because I want to be able to bring them with me wherever I go.
If you don't think this thing's not going to get modded to fucking eternity, dude, this thing's going to be modded for crazily.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a PC.
It's running a version of Arch Linux on it.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty popular version for like doing heavy modifications for an OS. And they said it's different from the Steam OS. It is custom for this device, but yeah, it's totally moddable, like the OS side of it.
And not like, oh, it's on the fringe moddable. Literally, it said in the things, it's like highly moddable is like one of the keynotes
Advertising
for
points.
it. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
I heard some discourse online that maybe I shouldn't have trusted that was saying it might not come to that. Like storefronts might not want to be on it, or there might be like coded so you can't put it on. Like you'll have to jailbreak it, go around
Chris,
it, go.
Yeah, and
Chris-
I'd feel weird about doing that on this device. But you are right; they are trying to squeeze you into the Steam ecosystem, which is what every other console does, right? Like
Yeah.
they're trying to get you
That's
into.
why they're taking a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But Chris, I don't want to correct you again, but until you hear the DLG stamp of approval,
Yeah.
we are the final word online, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are the voice of law and order.
Whether it be video games or elections, this is where you
Right.
want to hear the final
Yeah.
word.
Okay. So no other discourse. We are the law.
We
Got
are the
it.
law. Yeah. I am the law. That was really bad.
yeah, but yeah, this
Yeah.
this is going to be a long time before we see these, though. They said December.
Are the first ones.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Nick, you said no, it wasn't you. It was F and Sweet was over here this weekend. He said that like as soon as he reviewed or as soon as he got his, it told him when he was going to get it, and it said like Q1 of 2020, but
2020.
2022. Sorry,
Okay.
Q1. But some people got him this year as well. So it depends on where you got in on the queue. I got in 14 minutes in, but I was asleep. My alarm went off. I bought it and I went back to sleep. So I don't know where I am in the queue. Hopefully it's December. Really, the highlight for the most expensive one for me is the non-glare screen, because that really
Wait,
is an
why
issue.
is that not even default? Like, how big of a difference is
It's got to
that?
be expensive, man. It's got to be expensive.
Is it?
It's got to be.
I don't
I'm
know
guessing.
anything about that, so that's pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, or maybe a company will come out with a protective screen. That,
yeah,
that
and that
also
was a
does that.
big
Yeah.
problem on. This is what they're called. They're called the Tiger Electronics
Yeah, Tiger
games.
Electronics. Yeah,
Tiger ones. Yeah, the X-Men one. I had that.
We're talking. Bobby's talking about calculators. We're talking about handheld PCs.
No, I'm talking about a handheld. Well, early 90s handheld video game system.
Christian has no. Christian, please. Now that we know the name, can you look it up just so you can say how dog shit?
Tiger Electronics. I don't even know if you could take a picture of that screen and really capture like what's happening there. Can that be picked up in a photo? Like these were so okay, you can kind of see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no pixels, dude. There's only things where things
background
Only
jump.
never
the sections that are
changes.
lit up. Yeah.
So you can either jump to the right or jump to the left. That's it. There's only right and left. There's no middle. And the enemies have maybe 4 positions they can be in. That's it.
I feel like I
I
played
think one of the
baseball
first-
on these.
Yeah.
I think
you
that one of
probably-
the first ones that was ever around was a football game, right? Like it was a game.
Yeah, there
where you
were
could
some
play
sports
football,
ones.
and you'd run side to side, and you would have to avoid the enemy team.
I
And
played
that's it. Like you would try to make it cross.
I had one that was like Pitfall, like a Pitfall type game. Oh, Double Dragon! Look at that.
Yeah, I had the Double Dragon, the X-Men one, and I had a Ninja Turtle one. Oh, I had a Street Fighter one that I was really psyched about. God, it was so bad.
This is what we had to do, man. We fucking played video games on these, and we jacked off to fucking J.C. Penney fucking brawl catalogs.
Oh, man. Kids these days.
You got it so
I
good.
don't even know.
You don't even know.
So, Nick, are you getting a Steam Deck? I didn't hear.
Probably not right now. I gotta watch my shekels. I'm doing a lot of home improvement stuff. But,
Okay.
maybe you never know. Maybe the 2.0 I'll get.
Mm-hmm. And Christian, you're not reserving one.
I'm not going to reserve one, but I do want to get one eventually.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
Riveting. All right.
All right.
Bobby, this next one you have Dream Engines Nomad Cities. This is one I've really been looking. Are you going to talk
Yeah, I'll
What?
talk about it. So this game has been on my wish list forever. My wish list, the only purpose it serves is to let me know when games come out. Apparently there
That's what I'm
was like an
starting to use it
alpha
for,
or a
yeah.
beta version of this that was out before that was playable that I wasn't aware of, but it has officially released in early access on Steam now. It's called Dream Engine's Nomad Cities. So it's a city builder where you're basically building Columbia. What was that city in BioShock 3? Or BioShock
Columbia?
Infinite. It was Columbia.
Yeah.
Yeah, the floating city. So you're building a floating city. This is the graphics on this is it's very I don't know, it reminds me of like Nikola Tesla or something. It's a little steampunk, but you're building a city that's just going to float around. So I thought that was a cool idea. You know, I like those city builders when I have the time. And I was a little surprised at the price point of this. I believe it's around $30. Yeah, 26.99 on sale right now, but ordinarily $30, which is a little more than I was expecting. But it is out, and the reviews, there aren't many of them, but the ones that are out there are fairly positive. People are enjoying it for the most part.
I was very close to picking this up. I was between this game and one of the games I was gonna talk about, and the price point of this one. I was just like, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till it's a
So
little
is the
cheaper.
price point that did it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be the price point and the early access, the combination of those two. Like when you're in early access, you really need to have an entry level price.
Well, I don't know. It really depends on the game, I think. and how
What?
much
No,
it-
you charge a cheap price because you're in development. Once it comes out, then you raise the price if you have a solid game on your hand.
I think you can look at it a different way too, as exclusive access, like you're buying your way into.
True,
Something
like a
that-
Kickstarter.
Yeah, like a
But even Kickstarter, usually on Kickstarter, you get things cheaper.
Yeah, you get things cheaper, and then you get a little bit extra shit.
Yeah, either way, the price usually goes up after they come out of early access, if it changes at all. I should say the price doesn't seem to change much, but if it does, it usually goes up.
So are you gonna pick this one up?
I don't know.
That means no.
Yeah,
That means no and Bobby.
I think I would have to see more. The reviews are fairly positive, but 70%, like that's, if people were just like, oh, this is incredible, 96%, then I might be a little more interested.
But dude, you didn't pick up that boomer shooter for. I thought for sure you're gonna pick that up last week, 100%.
Oh,
I forgot the name. I think I bought it, and I forgot the name. I couldn't play it.
yeah, I forgot the name of it
Yeah,
too.
Dead Air, guys, Dead Air.
I think I
Dead
put
Air,
it on my
yeah.
wish list.
I did not see this coming at all. More content for The Witcher 3. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Apparently, it's nothing too crazy though. It's
I
like
know,
a couple of costumes and like a quest.
It's free. It's free DLC. But even if they're doing anything for it, it's I find that amazing, dude. That's crazy. It's a little more story that's based on the Netflix show. There's a tie-in there because I believe what's that guy's name? Henry Cavill.
Henry
He
Cavill.
signed up for 6 more seasons. So
Oh no, they're gonna milk the shit out of it.
yeah, so
Yeah.
they're trying to get everyone that played the game back, to watch that show. Now the show is based on the books, which is prequels to the game.
Games.
So I believe I'm gonna go ahead and guess that this is gonna be a prequel. But if is it really only one quest, Nick? Is that what you read?
No, it's a one main quest, and there's just a couple of like the main quest has to do with a show, but the side quests are like repeatable and stuff like that.
Okay,
But it's gonna be pretty interesting.
dude, this is 100% played. Like, yeah, it's
So,
my favorite game
is
of
the
all
sh-
time.
Is the show going to be a companion for future, or is the game going to be companion for future playable content around like season 5 of like every season they're going to get new DLC? Because that'd be pretty cool. wouldn't
That would be cool. I always give credit to that game, Defiant. The Defiant? No,
Mhm.
yeah,
Defiance.
Defiance.
I
Yeah,
think it was Defiance.
the sci-fi and some game studio got together and said, "Let's make this game." And the story arcs that happen in the show on sci-fi are going to unveil themselves in the MMO. Fucking amazing, beautiful. Yeah, of course that would 100% work if it was like The Expanse or something that ended up being good. But the unfortunately the game and the show were subpar, and so it fell apart. But that doesn't mean that can't happen. Could you imagine like the way that people have been following Loki, and then that have a game that goes along with it? It wouldn't work with Loki, but you know what I'm saying? That many people watching WandaVision, and then them also playing MMO that goes along with it. It's incredible conceptually. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but if the game's no good, it really doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yep. All right. What
I hope
about
I really hope the best for The Witcher though. Like I think that eventually we're gonna see a prequel, like that has to do directly with the books, and they're gonna be like, well, season 3 of The Witcher, and now the game is close to The Witcher, whatever. Like it's
Well,
gonna come in conjunction.
CD Projekt Red said that they were done with The Witcher, but here we are. Right? You
You
come with that
know,
fat check.
I like money. You like money.
You come,
They like
you
money.
come with that Netflix money, dude, and things change. So yeah, maybe Nick, but yeah, hopefully on a new engine. Not that it doesn't hold up and it doesn't still look fantastic.
when's Cyberpunk getting some DLC?
They got to fix
Oh
the
my
game
god.
completely first.
Cyberpunk subreddit right now is so fucking stupid. They're making fun of the game. It's like, so you know how like sometimes game companies will be like, in our game, over 10 million players have killed the zombie with like two-handed axes,
Hmm.
and like it shows a clip of it happening. Well, one of them was on Reddit. It was like 0 players killed by half-naked chicks with scythe arms because it's like the original trailer for Cyberpunk.
Oh, had a chick
And
with scythe arms.
yeah, and like it's just nothing but jokes like that. It's pretty funny.
I wonder how many
But
people
yeah,
are playing that game right, still. I have to look it up on Steam charts sometime and see. But I just feel like it's kind of disappeared from the public conscience so quickly. All right, what are we at? Oh, wow. 8,500 people playing right
Yeah,
now
I was
on
thinking about
Steam.
getting back into it. Now that I have my new rig, I really want to play it.
I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
I think they probably fixed the bug I had, so I might be picking it up too.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to this too. I've been kind of craving it. I had a great time starting it, but then the bugs started piling up, and I was like, okay, I'll just wait. It's fine, and maybe it's time. It came back on the PlayStation Store recently, right? That probably means it's more stable.
I mean, there's so many patches deep on this.
Yeah.
It's got to be a lot better.
July
Christian.
2021. Time to go back. Cyberpunk. What's up?
You have 2 things on our list, and we have 1, so I think it's your turn.
Okay. So Brennan 46, not to be confused with Brennan 47 in Discord, brought this up. Battle for Middle Earth Reforged. This is like a beloved RTS from way back when. Did you guys ever play Battle for Middle Earth?
Was it a PlayStation game or PC?
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, it was on console too. Now that you say that, I completely forgot. But yeah, it was on Xbox
Yeah,
and
it was-
PlayStation.
I was
remember
looking
that
at this
game.
and I'm like, ooh, these graphics are rough. But then I saw the Reforged and I'm like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
really old game that they're remaking.
Yeah, they're remaking it. They're adding an extra faction, bigger maps. I don't know why this became such like a cult thing. Whenever I go to like I don't know weird Facebook groups or Discord servers, they're talking about this game like it was so good. I didn't have that much like fun playing it,
Yeah.
but apparently lots of other people did. And if it's a mod, so it's going to be free. This is abandonware at this point, so I mean they're nowhere close to being done. They started in 2017, and
Holy shit.
I was going through their latest update, and they're on update 5, and they're stopping at 10, so they're about halfway there. So
The problem with these passion projects is they're exactly that. People are doing them on their spare time, between family and kids and all that stuff. So
yeah,
that's why these things trudge along. And what's funny is like if there was a Kickstarter or something, you sent them $5,000, it wouldn't even change anything. Like they would need millions of dollars to get this done quickly. Unfortunately,
You would usually have to pay them like a year's salary of what they're doing to be able to put their full time to it.
that's the
and then
thing. Yeah,
pay
nobody's
them.
gonna even for $100,000. People aren't gonna leave their main job collectively or even one person for 100,000. It's not enough.
Well, they couldn't do it anyways, right? They don't own the IP. Like they can only work on this really with no trouble because they're doing it for no money. Like if they had a Kickstarter, I think there'd be pretty big issues. Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings is like guarded stuff.
I just spoke about this before the show, but I'm going to reiterate because it all came together for me, guys. When listening to Ready Player 2, the sequel to Ready Player 1, which I don't really recommend. It's not very good. It's the same shit. It's kind of like when you watch The Hangover 2 and 3. You're just like, oh, it's the exact same thing. So, yeah, one of the points that somebody makes during that is that, like, Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings, and then Gary Gygax was such a big fan that he made a game that goes inside of that game, or inside of that story, which is Dungeons and Dragons. And then modern video gaming takes, at their core root is basically all D&D has become video games. So Tolkien is so important in just, first of all, he made up elves and goblins and fairies. I mean, they were probably out there in folklore before, but he brought it all together. He put it all in. He set up the rules, and then Gygax put numeric values to everything, and then made it into a game, which is now like hit points when you will play whatever. Anything from Larian Studios or even Street Fighter, you have hit points. It all boils down to D&D, which all boils down to Lord of the Rings, which is crazy to think about.
Didn't you just say this like 20 minutes ago?
Yeah, but not on the show.
We were not. Yeah, we weren't.
Oh.
That's why I said I just said this.
Oh. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No.
You're off the show, dude. I'm done with you. I want you to stand up and walk out of that room that you're in.
All right. What else we got here? Bloodroots?
Yeah, so Bloodroots, it looks fucking awesome. I love games where it's one hit die. And this is one of those games. It's like a super quick, it's almost like a Hotline Miami, but it's got funnier graphics and stuff. I think this is one of the games, depending on the price point, I might be picking up. I said I was going to pick up it's $20, sorry. Maybe if it goes on sale for half off, I'll pick it up. I'm not going to pay $20 for this. It's getting very positive. There is a demo, so check it out if you have any interest. But its release date is supposed to be March. Yeah, no, it's already out. Shit.
Yeah, the very first thing you think about when you see this is Hotline Miami. That's the first thing, but it has a lot more to it. It has like verticality and it has like things that you can ride on and stuff. But it's so absurd. There's a part where the guy grabs a ladder, kills a guy with the ladder, then puts the ladder in the ground, climbs up the ladder, jumps off the ladder onto a roof, rolls off that roof, jumps onto a hay barrel that rolls over another guy. It's like insanity. And all this is happening probably faster than I could even say it. So it's just like very Twitch reaction stuff. Looks great. I really like the trailer as well. I didn't know there was a demo. I'm going to try that out.
Yeah, I like this. This flew completely under my radar, and it's like released 4 months ago. So I don't know. I want to check it out, but only if it's on sale. I'm not going to pay $20 for this.
Yep.
Very Samurai Jack. I like the art style.
Yeah, the art. Yeah, definitely Samurai Jack.
Okay, I'm gonna go. This is a little thing called Bongo.cat. It's not a game, or you can make it a game, but it is one of the best websites of all time. So really quickly, I'm gonna play. You're a cat and you do bongos. There's a symbol. Yep, you got this. There, it comes with a full keyboard and full marimba. And it's just the best websites of all time. I love internet's so cool. I love looking at websites that just do one stupid thing like this and saving them in a folder. And I don't know.
Are you gonna play us something?
I'm not talented. So,
dude, I thought this was all gonna work up into like something you were gonna play live for us.
No, that would be really cool. Yeah.
If you like things like this, dude, go to Jim Carrey's website if you've never been there.
I've never been there. Jim Carrey has a website of all these websites.
It's pretty crazy. No, it's just one thing that's like it's interactive. I don't know if he's changed it. I'm talking about like 7 years ago, but maybe it's still there.
What's
It's
the URL? Jim.Carrey, probably.
no, like
Jeez.
jimcarrey.com, dude.
Okay, whatever. It was a joke. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's it for Bongo.cat.
All right. Dude, I thought it was gonna be.
Bongo.cat is gone.
Sorry, Bongo.cat.
Do you have enough time to click on Crowsworn for me? While you're playing on Bongo.cat?
Yeah, here it is. Yeah.
Okay. Crowsworn is a Metroidvania roguelike. The thing that it reminds me most of is Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight, when you take a look at it, is kind of deceptively simple, especially the artwork. You're just like, oh, this is just like 8-bit graphics or whatever, 16-bit graphics, and it doesn't look that good. But then overwhelmingly positive, and people talk about it excessively about the best platformer to come out on PC for years and years. And this looks very similar to Hollow Knight. The lighting really... just go and check out the trailer, and if that doesn't turn you on, I don't know what will. The lighting mixed with these simple artwork, this cartoony look, it pulls it off so well. Yeah, so I'm high hopes for this one. It's a Kickstarter. Did it make its money?
Yeah, it looks like it 5x'd its money. So
5x its money, so it's definitely coming out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That always shocks me with any Kickstarter. It can be like a kid that needs a liver or like spoons for ice cream. And like anytime it's like 5 times above what they expected, it's still like a crazy amount of money to me.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because so many people want to get in on that cheap price that we were talking about earlier, Nick. Like, you usually get a lot of bang for your buck for supporting them early.
Oh, I didn't even know. They have 21 days to go in this Kickstarter. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. Check that out,
Wow.
Nick, or Christian. Just, it looks good. Anyway,
Cool.
what's next? Highlights.
Well, we should mention that the game is called Crowsworn. Crow like the bird.
Oh, I thought it was Crowsworn.
No,
My bad. I was like, Crowsworn. That's so cool.
That doesn't roll off the tongue very well. Crowsworn. Wow,
Yeah, it doesn't.
Wow, wow.
Wow.
Wah,
Are you sure it's
wah.
not Crowsworn?
Crowsworn.
Maybe it's Crow's Worn.
That's what Snapper just said.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what
it's okay.
He literally just said that.
It's fine. So, how are you guys doing the game of the week? Do you do it last in the episode? Like,
No,
it's
we
been
actually do it
Mechwarrior
right
for
now.
like 3 weeks.
I was jumping ahead.
It's
Okay.
been for 2 weeks, and the reason why is we wanted to explore it a little bit more before we get a criticism on it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and a lot of that is because, I think we all threw in our first 3 hours, and that's that's about when you need to play in order to activate the online part of it.
Yeah.
I got to the online part of it today. I had already played some, but I got to the online part of it today. And the good, maybe shitty part about it is like you can't just jump into a la Souls-like, jump into somebody else's game and help them out. You need to know the person. They have to send you a code, right?
Yep.
And then you can go on the mission with them. So it's not like there's just server rooms with people waiting to conscript online people to go on to this
The co-op in general seems really shoehorned in this game. It
does, yeah.
It doesn't. I was expecting more. I was expecting, okay, cool. This is like a cool co-op shooter, but with mechs, we can all join into a game. And but really, what you can do is join into basically a sandbox mode where there's really no stakes to it. You're not progressing at all. You're just
You
pick a
either.
mission type. You can adjust the settings if
No.
you want. No, there's 2 kinds. I'm talking about the quick match.
Oh, okay.
So this is the one that you can do right off the bat. Now, if someone is doing their campaign and they're like, I don't know, 5 or 6 missions in, then they can invite their friends into that game and they can help them with their campaign. But you are just helping your friends play through. Nothing you do in there will level up any of your characters. I don't even know if you really do level up the mechs in this at all. There didn't really seem
you
to be
level up
any
your pilots. Your pilots
Yes,
are getting
yeah,
leveled
you
up.
level up
in the
their
campaign
abilities.
mode.
Yeah.
Probably in both. I'd imagine. I don't know. That's the other thing. Do you have to pay damages if you go in and help somebody out? I hope not.
I didn't experience that.
Okay, you guys talk about the online. Well, let me quickly go in through the I'll talk about the single player and then we'll get into the online.
Okay.
The single player, another thing that seemed forced. Everything that happens on the ship, you have to walk to, and
Oh God.
it seems completely unnecessary. I know that they were trying to like make you feel like you're in a ship that's also a garage that works on these things, but I don't have to be reminded of it every single mission. Maybe like every fifth mission, make me walk through the thing. But like every mission, you have to go and walk up to the chick that gives you the missions, or you got to go talk to the other guy who's on the other side of your ship. Very Borderlands 3, like making you run around for no reason. I would have been 100%. I'm kind of thinking like now that I'm saying it out loud. If everything was just menus and then only missions, would I have been happy and not complaining about that? I think so. I mean, what is the game? The game is being in a giant fucking robot and smashing through buildings, right? That's the game.
Exactly.
That's the fun part. And so, if you would have just put that there, and then sure, you can run your whole thing. All you need is menus. They wasted time with all the cutscenes and the voice and all that stuff. They just wasted time with all of that because I feel like the voiceovers were terrible. The cutscenes were not good. And then inside of your spaceship was fine, but unnecessary. And so I wish they would have taken all of that effort and put it into the main game. You guys in agreement with me on this?
I completely agree. So there are some parts of this game where I feel like I'm playing like an anime game that's like being developed on someone's like back paycheck or something, and like they have no time to actually develop it. And the reason I say that is that there are some moments where like the voice acting, it's like, bro, me and Emilio can do a better job than this. Like,
100%.
there's a robot over there and he's fast. Make sure to aim for his leg. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
My huge cannon can hit him in the chest and kill him in like 2 shots.
It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. But
I was gonna have a seizure, dude, if I had to run to another person just for them to say one sentence with terrible fucking mouth movements. I was just like,
Now, all that said, I feel like we all wanted to go into a second week because the gameplay itself is pretty solid.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like playing a giant robot, Yeah.
When it comes to mech games, I find it's really easy to overcomplicate things and to get overwhelmed by all the options, because the fun of a mech game is you're building this giant machine and you can customize it. You can put lasers here, rockets there, ammo here, and make it really light and run fast, make it really heavy but tanky. Like, you have all these options to perfectly customize it the way you want to have your play style play out. It's really easy to overwhelm the player with that, but this game seemed to find that middle space really well, where there's a lot of options, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do, but it's not like you take one look at it and you're just like, whoa, assault on the eyes, I got a headache already.
Yeah, because when you get a mech, it's good to go. You don't
they have loadouts. They have loadouts that you can get.
And,
everything's all
and
set
it's
up.
fine. Like, that'll probably get you through all the levels. Now, if you want to customize it, you can get into that.
Yeah, my laser build did not work, by the way.
Too much overheating, I'm guessing?
No, I put lots of heat sinks on it.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really a problem. They're just not very effective. I mean, the lasers in the game, what do those do? They heat up the other player, but they don't do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
So yeah, I was like the last person alive, and everybody was very bored and waiting for me to finally die, and I'm just like zapping someone with a laser 5,000 times, not doing any damage. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend the straight laser build, but that was really cool. But I really felt like the multiplayer was almost non-existent or an afterthought. And that's what I was most looking forward to. I was like, okay, let's get into a game. Let's have some really fun playthroughs. And then we load up the quick match multiplayer, and it says, here are these scenarios you can play and they're just a sandbox mode. You want to add more enemies, make it more difficult? Sure, just click on these buttons. Then you go in there with your friends, you do it. Okay, cool. We won or we didn't, whatever. It doesn't matter because you don't get any sort of like bonus points, and then you can go back and upgrade your mech or anything like that.
I gotta strongly disagree with you, Bobby. I feel like, I mean, it was built from the ground up for multiplayer because even the regular missions, you hire and conscript AI pilots to take those other. You can't do the later missions.
You're talking about in the campaign?
In the campaign.
Okay.
You have to hire.
I didn't play multiplayer in the campaign though.
But I didn't either. When you get to like when you get to mission like 5 or 6,
Yeah.
you have to. You don't have to. I did one without doing it, but you can. You have to get AI pilots. You have to hire them and put them in a mech that you've gained, and then you go into the game like that.
Yeah, but here's the problem with the campaign mode. So you can have your buddies jump into your game and they can help you out, but they don't really gain anything by doing that. They get the fun of playing with you.
Right.
But eventually, all you're really doing in this game is just shooting at stuff. It doesn't really change that much. Sometimes you're defending something. Sometimes you're destroying a city. Sometimes you have to blow up these guys. Like they have some variations, but it all kind of comes down to just the same core gameplay loop. And if you're just doing that and you're not even like getting any rewards out of it,
maybe it was sloppily done, but this game was made for multiplayer from the ground up. They just didn't pull it off very well because of exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was expecting something like, hey, we can all. I'm trying to think. You don't have to do that, right? Like you can go the other route, like GTFO. You don't get anything when you complete a run of GTFO, but it's incredibly challenging and takes multiple runs and a lot of communication.
Yeah.
So it's a rewarding experience. This is really just point and click for the most part.
Yeah.
Although I do have to say this game I didn't like it at all at first. And then the more I played it, the more I warmed up to it, especially in the campaign.
I think that's any game though.
Yeah. Not shitty ones, not the worst ones. I was like, okay, I got this mercenary crew. I got to hire these guys. I got to hire the right guys. I got to put them in the right mechs. And I'm trying to gain money, and I have losses. I have overhead. Like, it tells you how long you have to go until you pay your rent or whatever. You have to make that much money before you have to pay your rent. And so you have to make sure you're making enough money, and travel takes enough time. And I was like, okay, I have a business. There's a mech business here. It's the Mercenaries, right? And if I want, I can ask one of my friends to play one of the other guys, and I don't know what happens. Do I not incur debt on his damages? I hope not. That'd be sweet. I mean, maybe there are advantages, but yeah, the other person joining apparently gets no benefit. Maybe they get money for their main campaign. Because I played a quick match. Instant action. That's what it's called.
Instant action. Yeah, that's a quick match.
When I played that, I was gaining money, and it was like, oh, you completed the mission, but stick around and you can make even more money. That's what the girl on the radio told me. So I'm watching my money go up, and I'm wondering if I can take. I imagine that money goes to my main campaign. I'm guessing.
I don't know because
I didn't see anything like that, and I was playing that. That's mostly what we were playing.
But I was offline. I did quick action or whatever, instant action, but I did it.
Oh, okay. Maybe it
with
was
AI
something
bots.
different in the menu. Yeah, the menus were a little. I didn't quite understand. Yeah, it's a weird way to do multiplayer.
It is. I'll talk about another game later on that did it right, where when people join you, they're unlocking stuff for their playthrough.
Well, that's most games, though.
Even if it's at there's what do you call them? Points. There's points where you unlock things, right? Like
checkpoints.
Geez.
Achievements.
Milestones.
Okay.
Milestones. Even though let's say my milestones are already done, and they're coming up behind me, they're unlocking their milestones in their game, even though I'm way past them. You know what I mean? And so I thought that was a good way of doing it.
Okay.
That's the way it should be done.
Yeah.
Overall, I feel like I want to play this more, but I say that every week. So I don't know. The graphics were a big disappointment for me too.
They were serviceable. I thought they were fine. Mech games are always a disappointment for me because I love the concept of it. I love how you can have these long, drawn out fights with machines that you've tailored to your preferences, and how you can target different areas of the mech and try to disable parts of them. Like, I love that. It's like two big Goliaths fighting, or two big giant ships fighting. It's a
Yeah.
long exchange. And
It's exactly, yeah, it's pretty good. A ship battle. It's
yeah,
most
it's like
likely.
a ship battle. And I like that a lot more compared to just like the one shot, one kill type thing. But I don't know. I'm just always disappointed by these mech games.
Did you ever play a game called Armored Core?
I did. I love the fuck out of that game, dude, on PlayStation.
Yeah, like this game, if it was, you don't want to say, hey, be more like this, but if this was like Armored Core mixed with like the business aspect, and like in Armored Core, the multiplayer is all about PvP, but there are missions. It's like this could have been done so much better, and there's examples of like ways it could have been better, and yeah, like there's such a learning curve to this game that your experience is completely determined on if you read tooltips or not, or if you actually play the tutorial. Because like Bobby was like, I'm gonna go all laser build. I'm like, I hope we face a lot of fucking tanks because lasers are made for killing tanks, and like every single weapon type has a certain thing that they kill good. Like so, like the missiles are for air units, and like the cannons are for like bigger mechs, and like there's a bunch of other shit. And just like, but like then again, like the variants on weapons and stuff like that. Like there's a machine gun, there's a minigun, there's a cannon, there's a bigger cannon, there's the biggest cannon, and like there's hardly a difference between each piece that you're making. Meanwhile, like Armored Core, there's like 50 fucking missile launchers. There's like 20 assault. Like it just goes on and on and on. So.
A big surprise.
Yeah.
Two standout things that happened to me. One game that I was playing, it was so close. Like I was playing a smaller mech, and I had blown the arms off of this thing. All it had was like a head laser, but I'm at 0 health, and my heat sinks are blown out, and I'm constantly, because I'm running that small one that you start with in the campaign.
Oh,
It has
yeah.
4 lasers. And so I'm constantly sweating, but my heat sinks are gone. So my lasers are overheating me, and my mech straight shuts off. Probably 3 times in that fight. If you overheat, everything turns off. Computer turns off, and you're just sitting duck. And all 3 times that it happened to me, I just happened to I was flying, and then I fell in cover, and he couldn't get to me in time to kill me. But I was like, oh my God, it was so close. And then I won that fight, and I was like, whew, that was awesome. And it was like a good 10-minute fight, which was also awesome. And then the other thing, later on, probably the 6th mission or so, you get one called the Wasp, which is even faster and smaller than, the Locust, that you get faster and smaller than the first one that you get. And this thing is a micro machine compared to these other things. Like there's like a dude sitting and legs, and it's so fast and has a machine gun on it. You can literally run circles, and that's what you have to do. Run circles around these big guys and just shoot them in the ass with a machine gun until they go down, and it's so satisfying. Like I really had fun with that.
So when we were playing the first mission we did, right, we failed instantly because we just got blown up by tanks and aircraft, which are considered like chaff that you're supposed to kill like with like a press of a button.
Yeah, they're not challenging.
No, and then so like okay, I'm like Bobby's like okay, you can move your hips and lock and look this way, and then I'm like okay, if you press 1, that means you fire all your lasers, and then you can switch. Like we're all reading the tutorial and manual at the same time.
Oh, you guys went straight into the quick match.
Yeah, like a bunch of idiots.
Oh, I see.
Well, it wasn't too hard to figure out how everything worked.
Weapon System 1 and Weapon System 2 are left click and right click. It's
Yeah,
3 and up you have to go and push. But anyway, we're getting into the weeds. Recommend for $30?
Yeah, probably not.
If you like mech games and business simulators, then $30 this will get you.
Yeah, it's not terrible. But yeah, if this is your jam, then maybe. If this is your jam, then maybe. That's what I'm going to go with.
If you already like it, then you'll like it. All right.
Yeah. Bobby, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to make a request. Can you talk about Killing Floor 2 so I can do my things?
Sure. There was a big update for Killing Floor 2 recently, and I finally had a chance to play it. It is called the Interstellar I'm sorry, I missed that there. What do they call this one? It was Interstellar Insanity. What's really cool here, so this, I think it happened during the Steam sale, but they've finally taken all the DLC, all these new weapons and skins that you used to be able to buy just piecemeal. You can now buy them in one big whole thing. Just like a flat fee will get you all of them, which I thought was really cool because they were really starting to pile up. There's a new map, of course. It's called the Moon Base, and it's got not quite 0G, but low gravity. So you're jumping around, which is really interesting. In this game, jumping is not, you can't really jump over things. You can jump in the game, but it's not an important mechanic in this game at all. It
Yeah.
rarely comes into play. So to have a map where jumping is now like this huge thing, you're supposed to jump up, float around, and then shoot down at the zombies or jump over something. Like, it totally changes it. Still a great game, man. Like I love going back to this every now and then. You know, on Fridays we've got a group of people that always plays whatever games, whatever game, and Killing Floor 2 tends to come up quite a bit. And of course, what is great with the DLC weapons, if anybody on your team has them, everybody has access to it. So
Oh, that's pretty nuts.
yeah, it's great. So if you're playing with someone who's bought the full pack, you get access to every single upgraded weapon there. And they're doing some sort of event. You know, they always have events with this game, and the newer one is this summer event, which I don't think I've seen before. They always have their Christmas one and their Halloween one, and I love those events. They had the Gary Busey's Christmas, which was the absolute best. Never topped that. But they dress up the Zeds, the zombies in this game, with all these interesting thematic outfits. So Christmas, they'll be dressed like presents or Santa Claus or gingerbread men or whatever. Halloween, they got Halloween costumes on. So this summer event, I've never seen it before, but they've got, it's pretty funny, man. They've got like their swimsuits on and
Oh god,
they're all ready
that's
for the
hilarious.
pool party and stuff. It's great, man. I had a flashback to my Heroes of the Storm days when they used to do the summer event for that. They had Stitches with the little like
Neon.
floaty. What do you call that thing? The little life preserver
Oh
round
yeah, yeah,
thing
yeah. The little
around
thing
him.
that goes around your waist that keeps you alive.
Yeah, and his hook turned into a bucket, like a little sand pail that he'd throw out. Oh man. It's so strange because I've been so busy with school that I haven't really taken my nose out of the book long enough to realize that summer is happening. We're over halfway through July, and it literally is like summer has not existed for me. So I was kind of reminded with this new update that, oh yeah, it's summer, isn't it?
That's so
It's a happy
sad, Bobby.
thought.
Yeah,
That's really happy, dude.
That's when you're like, I'm gonna take another class. I'm like, dude, it's summer.
You know, it
Like-
would have been fine. I totally underestimated this chemistry class, though, big time. Like, I don't know. I'd be interested to see how many students in this class made it to the end because there was like 30 on the first day. I'd be surprised because I'm a pretty smart guy and a pretty hard worker, but it's really testing my limits.
Well, you
Battle
also
Royale,
threw,
the chemistry class, dude.
it was also like the cherry on top, Bobby. Like you, had it been a normal class, you would have been at your limits, right? Because you try to push yourself, right?
What do
You were
mean?
taking as many classes as you could, right?
Well, I'm taking 9 units. 4 of that is the chemistry, but it's all the chemistry. Like, dude, all the
Yeah.
work, all the time is the chemistry class. It's just studying constantly. But I won't go into the story. I explained it before the show, but I never took chemistry before ever in my life. Some weird thing happened when I was in high school. They were trying some different science program out in my district. So things happened, and somehow I got through high school without ever taking chemistry. So this is my first time learning about a lot of this stuff.
It's because in East County they didn't want people learning how to cook their own meth, dude. That's basically what
Probably a big concern out there.
Jesus.
All right. So we talked about this last week, but I actually played it. Gladiator Guild Manager Prologue. Prologue being the demo, the free demo that you can play. And whether or not this was going to be the happy mix between business and business,
That
like the business end of Axis. See what I did there? It didn't really work, but here we are. So, yeah, it's way more on the cartoony time side. It's way more on the action side. You can't take control of any of the characters. You just put them out there. It's a lot more like Tabs, a totally accurate battle simulator, because positioning, I feel like, has a lot to do with it. Everybody is going to fight whoever's right in front of them. That's just how the AI works. So a lot
It's
of
like one of those
times,
cell phone games.
yeah, this game feels like a cell phone game. I don't know if it is. We've been bamboozled a few times. There's been a couple times where we reviewed something like, dude, this is like free on whatever, and I'm like, oh fuck, no wonder it was so bad.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad game, and I actually had an enjoyable experience. Unfortunately, it's a little light on the business side. Like money, I think hardly has an you have to hire people sometimes, but mostly you just kind of you have plenty of money. I never had any issue. Of course, I'm only playing the demo, so I haven't played the full fleshed out game. But what I played was enjoyable, and I had a good time with it. And there's a ton of classes. There was a necromancer, which of course I tried to buff up as much as possible. And they don't all have, but there's a lot of variance between them. There's like a wolf who's really fast and good at getting at the back line. So if you position him at the right position, he'll go and kill their healers he before they can start healing. But if you put him right in front of their bruisers, he's just going to go at their bruisers. Conversely, like the necromancer's really weak. All he does is a fear. But as soon as one of the enemy dies, he raises them, and now that person's on your team. And on a 5v5 fight, if you can turn that into a 3v7, that's a huge advantage. So I would concentrate all my guys on just killing one of their guys as quick as possible, so that I would get that numbers advantage. And so and I'm just scraping the surface. There's like I probably experienced 7 or 8 classes, and this is just a demo. So, what's the price on this? American price there.
There's no price on the Steam page yet.
Yeah, it's not out yet.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if this is over $20. Yeah, but we'll talk about it maybe when it comes out.
This looks awesome. I'm totally a sucker for games where the positioning of the units are more important than like the stats or of the units themselves. Like it's more about strategy. The only thing that I'd play the shit out of this, but I think I would need like a multiplayer component, because rarely does the AI challenge you in these kind of auto battler games. Like you can play people and really think outside the box with like something like the League of Legends one and stuff like that,
Don't get it twisted, dude. This is not Total War. All I'm saying is like there's ways to use the front line that are more effective than others, but it's not like backline is backline, front line is front line, and that's it. But
Okay.
you can put the wolves in a place where they will see the healers before the other ones.
Right.
But yeah, it's like Tabs. If you played it, you've played Tabs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unit selection, which is a big part about Tabs too. Like, oh, I didn't kill them with that. Let me throw this at them. And you can, and items drop, and you can equip your guys too. But yeah, I don't have to worry about how much food they eat and how much the fucking public likes my Gladiator combat. It's like, no, it's basically just the fun part. Yeah, I had a good time, and I'm definitely going to look at it when the full release comes out.
Sick.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So
This is a perfect example for the Steam Deck. Like, this is what I would want to play on my Steam Deck.
good game for the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. So as far as what I played this week besides Mechwarrior, I put about 5 hours into Mechwarrior, and I played the newest expansion for Total War Warhammer. So essentially, this is the final DLC for Total War Warhammer 2 before the third one comes out. It feels like they are experimenting with a bunch of mechanics so that the third one can kind of be fleshed out as much as it can. For example, one of the mechanics is Mercenaries, where if you cause enough like battles in a certain area to be fought and you win or lose, ogres will show up, and you
You're
can
talking
hire the
about
ogres
on the world map?
on the world map. Yeah.
Okay. If you cause
And
enough
so
chaos
any
on the world map.
No, you can fuck up anybody. Like if you're like the Lizardman and you're fighting like the Tomb Kings, like the ogres will just be attracted from all like the fighting,
Hmm.
and you can hire them. And the crazy thing is like the AI can hire them as well. And so it gets pretty fucking nuts because, for example, dwarves don't have cavalry, right? Well, if they hire ogres, they can hire ogre cavalry, which are like some of the best in the game because they're monstrous cavalry. These guys ride these huge like mounts that are like 3 times the size of horses, and they themselves are like 10 feet tall. And it doesn't break the game, but it definitely makes it more interesting. Like it's not like every time I fight the dwarves, it's like, all right, I'm not going to beat them like by artillery, so I'm going to have to use armor piercing damage. Oh, like oh fuck, they actually have cavalry. Like what the fuck am I supposed to do? And
But
so that definitely throws a monkey wrench in things.
so Nick, does that mean that economy is more important now because you want to raise more money to be able to hire the mercenaries than the opposing faction?
Well, it depends on the faction. Some factions don't have economies at all, so that's another like big change to one of the main races that they added. I mean that they buffed up. So they buffed up 2 races. It was the Lizardmen and then the Beastmen. And the Beastmen haven't had any love since the first game. They were the first DLC race for the first game, and they're considered one of the most lackluster rosters because they don't have any single large like monsters that are really crazy. And in this DLC, they added 2 of them, but now they don't have any they don't have any economy because beastmen don't need money in the Warhammer world. They just rape and pillage and burn things to the ground for chaos gods, so they have no use for money.
So what? How do they hire the mercenaries, or they don't?
So they gain what is called favor, and because ogres, some of them worship the chaos gods, you can use favor as your currency to hire them.
Christian, how is
Um,
this not your shit, dude? This seems like so in like right up your alley. Has-
Yeah, I was just talking it before the show. I don't know. I was just turned off by the uh, magic. Like, there's much more focus on heroes and stuff, at least in Total War Warhammer 1, which is the only one I've played. And I kind of like more the tactical stuff, but I
so the
can't,
tech,
like, it does look dope. Like, it looks really good.
so like the magic stuff, like depending on what race you're playing, or even depending on what leader you're playing, like there are leaders that are dude like they have no magic at all, but like they're good fighters. There are leaders that have no magic and are terrible fighters, but they're supportive characters. And it's not like, oh, I just have an army full of heroes, therefore I win. Like that's not the case at all. Like there are units that are made to kill heroes and stuff like that, or like just characters. Um, but in regards to the DLC, like it changed a lot. And so one big thing like that has happened in this game that people made fun of is that there's a character that's called Kazrak One Eye, and Kazrak is a is a beast man, and he's supposed to be able to fly. Like he's like a mutated goat man that has wings, and he's supposed to fly. Well, when the game first got released, they're like, "Oh, we can't just make a single hero fly. Like there's weird conjunctions that like doesn't work, and it never happened for 3 years." Well, now they figured it out because in the next game, there's like 4 characters that are single entities that can fly, and they had to figure it out. So they put it in this game, and they're testing it. So
So
I would say
you can see part 3 in
ex-
this DLC.
it's like the little bump of like drug, like before they sell you the whole kilo. They're just like, try it out. Like you're gonna like it.
You're gonna like it. So worth the money?
And definitely, this is arguably one of the best DLCs in the game. Um, I would say you go from, and so I do have my dislikes. So the two deals, the two campaigns you get with this are couldn't be more different. So there's one who's a chameleon skink that is all about killing chaos, and the way his mechanic works is that he's able to teleport across the map and complete these special missions for things to happen for his uh his like settlements and stuff. And the thing is, he does not know how to earn money whatsoever. Like any kind of gold mining, any kind of like buildings that would normally give you money are like at like 10% what they normally are.
Hmm.
And his whole army is about hit and run tactics. Like if you were to engage like with an actual like line of like infantry and then like ranged units, you would get obliterated every time. Meanwhile, the other character you get, who's a giant brass bull, is all about just charging straight the fuck in. And he has a unique mechanic where like it's called momentum. So every time you win, you get like bonuses onto your next fight. But eventually, the one of the bonuses is you get to move again. And there have been people that have exploited the game where they've gotten to fight, I think it's 20 battles in one turn with one character, which is like impossible in any of the other games. And they're already patching it to fix it because it is broken. But it's one of the best DLCs for the game by far. And there's a bunch of free shit that come with it too. Like you don't even have to buy the game to like get the characters to play against. So
I'm glad it's
Sweet.
good, man. Yeah.
yeah. So definitely check it out. I'm trying my one big gripe is that the campaign for the hit and run guy is broken. I have all the objectives done to win the campaign, and the only one left is to complete a certain amount of those missions. But they just completely stop showing up, and I've looked up every way to how to make them show up on purpose, and they just won't. So
It's a game
I
breaking
have to
bug.
wait. Yeah,
That's
but
unfortunate.
it's still fun.
Christian,
Sad
you
stuff.
got 2 on your list. That means you're
Yeah.
next.
Usually you don't play 2 games enough to have anything to say at all. But oops, sorry, cat. I just chucked my cat off the table.
Don't
That's cool.
apologize to them. They're fucking feral monsters.
Company of Heroes 3. This came out of nowhere for me, but apparently lots of people in the Company of Heroes community have been playing with the developers, and they're doing this kind of different, kind of interesting. Basically, they want to co-develop the game with the community. So this is a pre-alpha. It's free. Anyone can play it, download it. And then at the end, it gives you whatever little check marks. What do you want us to work on? It's kind of interesting. I don't know how effective it is because a lot of people who like Company of Heroes 2 are kind of, I don't know, shitty discourse, shitty feedback, like game sucks, SJW shit, like not useful stuff, at least in the forums and
Needs
Discord
more
server.
cats. We need more pictures of cats.
Yeah, yeah,
Not enough boobs.
but like other Total War people are like, wow, this is what we wanted. We always wanted a new Total War game because they're taking Company of Heroes 2, which is like this small RTS, and they've expanded it to a campaign map where you pick your battles and you have to manage supply lines, and they're making it more in depth, and they're kind of fusing the two together. So it's a pretty big departure from like what they've been doing before, and it's bringing new people in. But basically, from what I've seen, the people who like the series aren't too excited about it. I played the demo; it was super fun. I'm a Total War fan, so I like the campaign map, moving stuff around and managing stuff. Yeah, World War II, always a fun time. Kill the Nazis, all that good stuff. You guys play Company of Heroes?
I mean,
Played
this is
Company
like
Heroes.
Company
the
Heroes
first
1
one.
and 2 are kind of like the quintessential World War II RTSs. I mean, that's where it stops. The buck stops there or whatever. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to go beyond Company Heroes 2. You look up best one ever, I think Company Heroes 2 comes up at the top. And it's, I don't know how many years long. So this is overdue. I have a question for you, Chris. Bobby and I played a game once that was trying to do something like this, like using the community. And at the end of every round, like a questionnaire would pop up.
Yeah.
Or before you signed off. Do you remember what it was, Bobby? Fuck if I know what game it was, but do you remember there was a game that was like, did you have a good time? And you just push, and then like a questionnaire came up, and you click things very, very easily, and like nothing you would want to quit out of because it was like
A couple games have done that. Heroes of the Storm did that for a while.
it was like 4 questions every time you played. It wasn't
Yeah.
overbearing. You know what I mean? Was that how it was, or do you have to go to a separate website and give them your what for?
There's something that pops up, but it's not simple at all. Like, because this is a pre-alpha, so from what I've seen, they want you to go to the forums and they want you to write a big post of why you don't like mechanic X, and they want to see screenshots and they want to see supporting evidence. Like they want like the hardcore fans to like test the game and tell them what they think about it. There was no like kind of quick questionnaire, and I'm not even sure it would be useful to them at this point because apparently, like they said, everything's up in the air. We will literally change everything. We have this idea for a game. Now we're testing the campaign map on this pre-alpha. So tell us what you think.
Wow.
So
They're getting.
I've never heard of a studio doing that before, being like, the setting is locked. Everything else, mechanics wise, like we can tweak. It's up to you guys. So,
And I think RTS is really open for a lot of changes. You know, maybe a first-person shooter as well too, are just open for you. You can change. What is an RTS but a bunch of rules and figurines moving around? You know, so you can tweak all of that.
yeah, wouldn't that be every game? I'm not sure, but release date is TBA because of that. Like they're like, we don't know when this is going to be done. Just help us. So, anyways, that's the unique part of this. And if you're out there listening and you want to try it, just go to your Relic account, download it for free. It hooks up right to Steam, and it's about half an hour of gameplay right now. So, yeah.
Hey, Chris, I'm not gonna just let it swing by that you contradicted me, so you're off the show too. Out. Right after this episode, though, because I need you to look things up.
Damn.
I played a
Focus on
hell
my
of a
Tesla.
game, guys. I played a really good game. Roboquest. It is Gunfire Reborn, but better. The only
Just
thing,
fighting words.
the only reason that it's not as good as Gunfire Reborn is because it's 2-player instead of 3. But pretty much everything else is pretty much the same thing, except for it's not a fantasy setting; it's more of a sci-fi setting. You play as this little girl who flies around in this VW van, and then she gets. I think she's exploring mines, and the way she does that is she builds this robot. The robot goes into the mine and does the exploring for her. As the robot is unlocking things, her base camp is getting built up, and thus the roguelike. You know, that's how they explain the roguelike part of it. She just keeps sending robots into the mine. And I really, I play roguelikes incessantly. Like, you guys already know this, but Binding of Isaac, there's no explanation why he gets to spawn over and over. I kind of like it when they try. I mean, it's good enough. I'll take that. And plus, go ahead.
I think the reason why is that like it's it's a story that God wants to see played out in different ways or something like that. I thought that that's the reason why he keeps coming back.
The reason I didn't say that is because that's wrong.
I always thought that's what it was. Played this game for like 4 years. I thought that's what it was.
So, but it is fun to build your base camp. You see these little tents pop up, and they actually help your character in the next run through, and that's a reason why I think that it's better than Gunfire Reborn, because the progression in Gunfire Reborn was so slow and incremental, and it took forever to unlock anything. The second character took forever. In this game, there are so many guns that you can just get. They just drop, and you feel like, especially in the early parts, you're unlocking things every run, like nonstop, and it's good. If you've ever played Dead Cells, you'll understand what I mean by the perk system. So in Dead Cells, there's 3 perks that you can go down, and there's weapons that affiliate with those perks. There's green, purple, red, and if you bump up your purple, you get more health, and your purple weapons do more damage. This does the exact same thing, but has 5. There's also blue and yellow. So as you're playing the games, as you're leveling up, this is on a single run I'm talking about, not the outside part. You're leveling up your perk. You can do demo, which is yellow, and demolition. You just level that up, and then that'll kind of pigeonhole you into using demo guns. You don't have to, but each one of them has a perk as well, like a offshoot. So, assault is red. So all your assault weapons are going to do more damage. but it also, every time you put a point into assault, you do 2% more melee damage. So you do get a perk even though you're not using that gun type. It's not huge, but it's something. And as I'm unlocking this base camp, the different things that you can unlock are like, when originally you start with 0 perks. And then I started building on my base camp, and now I start with 1, 2, 3, and they're random. So now I might start with 2 assault and 1 robo, let's say. And so that'll kind of pigeonhole me into picking my first gun, but not really. Like, I can still do whatever I want, but it's nice to have those perks. And I'm glad that I've spent those wrenches. That's what you get to unlock things in your base camp. All in all, I mean, aesthetically, music, almost everything is really good. The sound effects on the shooting, that was maybe one thing that I didn't like, but everything else, it's pretty great. Somebody nailed it on the aesthetic. You can say Borderlands, but there's another game that, like, it looks exactly like it. I wish I could remember it, but yeah, I'm having a great time with this. And then there's 4 classes. I've unlocked 3. I've only played 2. One of them is called the Guardian, and his Q ability, his ultimate, if you will, he has a shield for like 8 seconds, so you can really jump in there and like fuck shit up. The second one we got was more of a rogue. He disappears, so you lose all aggro, and 8 seconds later you can pop up whatever you want, do bonus damage when you come out of it. And I'm not sure what the third one is, but all in all, having a fantastic time with this. It's $20 right now. I picked it up for like $13 on the Steam sale, I think. What's the all-time low on that? Whatever.
15 Canadian dollars.
So probably, yeah, like $12 or $13 American. And yeah, me and John had a great time. And then John went to bed and SOCOM jumped in. And SOCOM, when he sinks his teeth into something, he goes off on it. And the last game that I remember him doing that with was Gunfire Reborn. So he bought this like instantly. As soon as he saw us playing it, he's like, yeah, it's already bought. So then I started playing with him. And yeah, that's the game. But I honestly believe better than Gunfire Reborn.
Wow.
Yeah.
A new challenger. Did you ever go back to Gunfire Reborn after the 1.0 update?
I was never a big fan from the beginning.
Okay.
I played it mostly because everybody else was playing it.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like this does it a lot better.
Cool. A card game, Bobby? What's going on?
Card game, yes. One of the old card games. I had a dream that this is such a stupid dream, but I had a dream that I was reading a PC Gamer article.
Wow.
And it was talking about the craze with card-based combat games, and then the article was about the original card games. I don't know. It was a very specific article.
That's
apparently
so
in my
specifically,
dream. Yeah.
dude.
I think
But
you've just been hearing Emilio talk too much.
Yeah.
but a card game that was mentioned in my dream in this article that I was reading was called Card City Nights. This is a game that I played a long time ago. It came out a long time ago, 2014. It is by Ludo City. This developer, they've got a couple of games. It'll Do is another one of their games that I played. All their games have the same art style. It's this very simple but pleasing animation that they use in their games. Now, this is a card game, but it's not really card-based combat. You have this placemat where you can place these cards there, and you're trying to place these cards that you draw so that they connect with each other, and then they do various things when they connect with each other. The mechanics are very different than card-based combat. So even though it is a card-based game, but this game, I really enjoyed it back in the day, and I never beat it. So I went back to play it some more, and I still haven't beat it yet, but I feel like I'm getting close. And it's a little on the easy side, but it is still very enjoyable. This is a great kind of turn your brain off kind of game. There's some strategy. It's a bit of a puzzle, and you're playing these different opponents. There's a story to it, but that doesn't really matter all that much. And yeah, it's just very like kid friendly in its animation and demeanor. I realized when I was playing this game, there is a sequel that came out in 2017, like 4 years ago. So I might check that out. It's only $7.99 for the sequel. And it looks like the boards are bigger. The mechanics have changed a little bit. The reviews. This is a very small game, by the way. Like you aren't going to see big numbers on the reviews here, but the people who have played it apparently did like it. So I don't know. I might check that out. It's one of those games. It's like a line, Lyne, that it's kind of a rather simple puzzle game, but it's incredibly satisfying. That I always find myself going back to.
Multiplayer, huh? It's just.
I think the second one has multiplayer.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
kind of like Gwent or something. So long-time listeners of the podcast might appreciate this. Chad and I were such Magic the Gathering fans that we decided to make our own TCG a long time ago, and we had kind of placed our time frame. We did it in like modern warfare, so it was go to like tanks and planes and stuff like that. And we had three, both sides had three lines. You had your front line, your artillery, and then you had your supply chain. And you had to protect your supply chain from being flanked from the corners. We never got really down it, but we got to the point where we were like printing out cards and putting them in plastic and playing them. But then it kind of died when we were just doing too much drugs and fucking drinking too much to feel it. But now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, fuck, we would have been way ahead of the game. Yeah.
I'm gonna steal that idea and make millions of dollars. Thank you.
Yeah, not trademarked. Let's go. All right, I played a Civ killer. So,
oh boy, that's fighting words.
I know. There's some fighting words this podcast, right? So
Looks
that
beautiful.
game Humankind is coming out, and it's supposed to be a Civ killer. But I've watched some YouTubers play it, and I don't know, people just kind of don't seem too excited about it. Like I thought it looked awesome, and when Bobby played it, it sounded awesome. But whatever current rendition they have and they're about to release isn't really making people the most excited, or so I've heard. So I was looking around, and this game just released.
From the
It's like Civ, except only in the ancient era, and it mixes Civ and Crusader Kings. So I was like, oh shit, I've got to try this. It's fucking amazing. It's exactly what I wanted from Civ 6, but didn't get. Typical Civ stuff. You build up your cities, but then you have the added mechanic of mailing.
Lineage.
Yeah, lineage, marrying your rulers, all the subterfuge, that kind of political game. And it's multiplayer. So it's checking all the boxes. And there's so many like learning moments in the game. It's like, you've discovered this place. And then you can click on it and it'll give you like a history of what that place was in the real world and stuff like that. So it's
These
it's
are
an
real?
era I like.
Oh, man.
What's up?
It's real Earth.
No, it's not real Earth. It's procedurally generated, but you'll just like the names of places start off real. So you'll be like, oh, this is the island of Cyprus. It'll just be a random island, not really Cyprus. But then it'll have a tooltip that pops up and take you through the history of Cyprus in the ancient era. And then you get to rename it if you're the first one to discover it. So you can name oceans, mountains, rivers, and you can kind of make the world. If you're like me, you get really high and you play these games and you're super into role playing.
This sounds like it was made for you, dude.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. And it's kind of a stealth release. I mean, on their website, they have all these reviews. All the big people have reviewed it, but I never heard anything in the places I frequent. People who play this types of games I haven't played. So thought it was worth sharing. It's called OldWorld. It's $30 and it's only on the Epic Games Store. So I almost didn't buy it because of that.
Can't play it
I don't
on your
know.
Steam Deck.
Can't play it on the Steam Deck, exactly. Which kind of sucks. And it
Dude,
looks
this
like
shit
it's
looks
exclusive.
incredible, and it like you would think. I remember the last developer that you talked to that was making kind of like a Dwarfheim game.
Oh yeah.
Remember the graphics on that? That's what I would expect for something this lofty, but the graphics are beautiful.
Oh, the game is beautiful, and the music they have. I don't know. They have like that little sitar. They have all the. It's just super immersive.
Look at him,
It looks
Bobby. He's
great.
giddy. He's giddy, dude.
I'm so happy. So if you're out there and you want to play a multiplayer game, let me know. I've got like 15 hours in this, so I'm pretty much a pro, and we can can take it from there.
Damn. I'm excited for you.
Thanks, man.
Your excitement makes me happy.
Yep. Let's get through these listener questions. We have a mountain of them, folks.
Yeah, let's get to these, and we're gonna do a bit of a speed round here. So first one's coming from Zap. What's your favorite alternate ending in a game? Mine is Far Cry 4. So Far Cry 4, that's the one where the guy tells you to sit there and wait, and if you actually do it for a certain period of time, the credits roll and you win the game.
Yeah, it's because the bad guy, all he wants to do is basically give you the keys to run the nation. But because you take off and start this like civil war, he's never able to like say, "Hey, you're the guy now." And so I want to say it's the same one. I've told that story probably 4 times on the podcast, so I'm going to go with that one. I really like that one.
Have you? So I think you're wrong. I think you're just there to get your mother's ashes, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I have those," and then he just gives them to you, and he just flies away.
Is that what it is? Maybe I'm wrong then.
That sounds, yeah, I remember something about the ashes. That was the last Far Cry game I beat. There was a fake out ending in the first Divinity too. It's pretty deep into the game, maybe a couple hours, but you get to an area where you talk to a bunch of statues, and if you pick some option, then the credits roll and everything, like the actual credits from the end game, but then it stops and puts you back into the real game.
Huh. Because you're between worlds, right? You're like, is that the alternate dimension where your home base is?
I can't remember.
Yeah,
but that's the first Divinity.
I will say that Binding of Isaac has so many endings. Every major boss has a different ending, and Sam just beat Delirium for the first time on her own without my help. And that is the saddest ending, man. It is the worst one to watch. It kind of this is the explanation I've heard, Nick, is Isaac's mom wants to kill him because she's been watching too many religious shows on TV. And he jumps into his toy box and to hide from her. And then he suffocates. But that takes some time because in a toy box there's oxygen. So you see him breathing heavy and then breathing slowly and then not breathing and then being a skeleton. And the idea is that the entire game is a delusion. While he's dying and suffering from oxygen loss, he has delirium, and thus that's why delirium turns into all the former bosses.
That's
Makes a lot more sense, right?
That makes a lot
Than
more
your stupid ass thing you brought up earlier.
sense.
All right, next one.
Zap also asks, given the chip shortage and the pandemic, do you think the Steam Deck will release on time?
Yes.
Yes. It's probably the reason for the chip shortage.
I hope so.
Well, I think they have planned everything out pretty well. Valve usually doesn't mess up with things like this.
Yeah.
Like if the chip shortage and the whole silicon issue, like that's been happening for quite a while now. So I don't know. I imagine they're going to sell a ton of these, and it's going to be like if you put it in an order now, it could be a long time before you get it. If you got it day one, but I think you'll still get it on time. But yeah, I can't imagine it being too far off.
I think that's why the deliveries are spaced out. That's why if you were to get it, if you're going to go buy one right now, it'll probably tell you Q2 22 because it's already, they've talked to their supply chain. They had it all worked out. I hope.
That is pretty cool that they're doing that.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Mm-hmm. I like that they called it the Steam Deck too. I didn't mention this when we were talking before, but it makes me think of Shadowrun. If you go with one of the characters who is like a hacker, they upgrade their deck. Right? Well, yeah, I think they might call them deckers.
Yeah, I think they're deckers, dude.
Yeah, but they use a deck, and
It's like
the
a
deck
derogatory term, man.
But the deck is the device that they use when they're doing all their hacks, and you can upgrade it and customize it.
Dude, the whole Shadowrun collection was, I think, free on Epic. I downloaded it. I'm pretty sure that happened.
Yeah, I think they have like a version that includes everything now.
Yeah.
I wanted to quickly mention this, that we're on this topic of the Steam Deck. On the same day, Elgato announced something called a Stream Deck.
Oh, well, we had one of those.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably a new version of it, but
Oh,
yeah, the
geez.
Stream Deck.
a new but like man, launch time. They were like, okay, we've prepared for whatever 6 months for this. We're gonna release it, big release. Steam's like, yeah, we're releasing a Steam Deck. They're like, fucking shit.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
That just sucks, dude. Because
Yeah.
Steam was so hush hush about when it was going to come out too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right, JP.
By the way, it's a good product, right, Bobby? You like it?
What, the Steam Deck?
The Stream Deck.
Oh, the Stream Deck. Yeah, it's
yeah,
great.
yeah, because all those buttons are programmable, and you can
Mhm.
put whatever symbol you want in it, right?
yeah, you can put whatever icon you want, and it interfaces with like any program, so it works great for our needs.
Ooh, I can't wait to get those Gato dollars coming in.
All right, JP Diddy asks, DLG crew vacation, all expenses paid. Where do you and the crew go?
Didn't we
Bobby-
just answer this?
Bobby wants to murder us in a forest or something. Didn't he just say that? He's
Oh,
like, let's
we
go
were
to
saying-
the
yeah.
forest. Hope we don't meet a murderer, right? So I don't know about that. but-
Again, I'll just reiterate. I think Japan, because it's like kind of the video game capital, and we definitely have some video game stories after that.
I second Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Japan would be cool. Log cabin though, middle of nowhere.
Get out a log cabin
Nobody to
in
hear you
Japan.
scream.
Bobby, you'll cook for us, right?
Just wake
I'll
up
go.
early, chop some lumber.
Bobby, you have something there because when we were talking about where to do DLG for this year, somebody was saying off-season ski cabins are
Mhm.
cheap because they're off-season.
Yeah.
And so maybe next year that'll be exactly what we do.
That'd
That
be
would-
fun. We're just gonna stay in the house and play games anyways. Who
Yeah,
cares, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yep. All right. He also asks, it's over halfway through 2021. What games so far have been the biggest surprise versus the biggest disappointments? My most anticipated game, Evil Geniuses 2 World Domination, that was a bit of a disappointment. Biggest surprise? Not a lot.
Yeah. Nothing. Bobby's thought of everything. There's no surprises.
Not surprising.
It's like when you watch the movie Limitless, he's like, I see everything. It's Bobby's eyes jumping around.
Well, it's not a game, but the Steam Deck was a huge surprise for me, and I feel like it's captured the internet.
Yeah.
And everyone's super psyched about it, so I think I'll go with that.
I'll go with that as well.
I'm inclined to agree with that if my brain fucking works. As far as disappointments, Mechwarrior 5.
I'll also say this Witcher DLC was a huge surprise. I never thought that there was going to be another DLC, regardless of how small or big it is or how great it is. Like, never. 6-year-old game getting a DLC. Yep.
All right. Afro Dragon asks, Emilio, did you try Wizard of Legend? It's a roguelike, I think.
Yeah, I've played it quite a bit, actually. I probably put a good 10 to 15 hours into it. It is a roguelike, and it's an action roguelike. There's a lot of like dashing and using combos to destroy things as fast as you can. And this is one of those games where they throw so many options at you that it's very hard to find out what's optimal or what the meta is, because it's one of these games where there's like infinite combinations of things. There's like the four elements, and then each element has like 50 abilities, and then you can mix the elements. So just right there, you're talking about thousands and thousands of combinations. And so you can, like, I don't know, pop somebody up with earth power and then hit him with a giant fireball and then do a bunch of kung fu on him. And then but if that's better than just kung fuing the whole time, I got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to go with whatever feels and looks good, because I can't tell the difference, the nuances between what's really the best. But it is fun. I would recommend it. I'm sure you can get it for just a couple bucks on sale at this point. It's got to be approaching 10 years old. But yeah, it's a good roguelike. A lot more action-y than a lot of roguelikes, for sure.
All right.
And it has co-op, which is probably one of the very first roguelike co-ops that I can think of.
Afro Dragon also asks, which family member are you trying to turn into a gamer, or do you wish was a gamer? Mine would be my daughter. I'm still trying.
Be careful what you wish for, dude, because we have one PC and Mila incessantly asks me to play VR. And I swear to God, dude, if VR was exactly plug and play, just like, oh, click on here and no, I got to sign on. Like I was telling you the other day, Bobby, I got to switch from your account to this account. I got to run virtual desktop and then run Steam VR and then pick the game and then put it on her tiny little head. And all of this takes like 15 minutes. Oh, fucking. And Sam's already a gamer. I wish she was a little more open to what she would play. Like I just bought Life is Strange 2. I think she would love it, but she's not touching it. And it's on the big screen. Like you can put it on the big TV, but.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I really thought about this question. I'm so sorry. I'm going to backtrack. Biggest surprise, It Takes Two.
Okay, yeah.
As far as who do I want to turn into a gamer, Leslie become a PC gamer instead of just like really only playing games on like PlayStation. But other than that, she's still like already a gamer. So yeah.
All my
daughter
family
won, so
members
she
are.
can't play games.
All my family members are gamers. I wish my dad would take a break from doing random household things on his patch of land and spend a little more time just relaxing, and gaming could be one of the ways he did that. But I started gaming because my whole family's gaming. Either they're gamers now or they were and now they're not anymore. So wish fulfilled.
I'm a little confused. Is your dad currently or in the past was?
He played not a lot of games, but he's probably a gamer growing up.
Because
they had all the consoles and sorry, what was that?
I have the same complaint about you and Bobby. I feel like you guys should ease your dads into games a little more. Like it seems like you were like, here's this game, play it, and he was like, yeah, it's awesome, and then you're like, no, you're doing it wrong, and then he never played again. Is that about right?
No. He introduced games to me, and we would play together. But then he just got busy and fell out of his life. Now that we're all moved out of the house, I feel like he could like rediscover it, take some time for
But
himself.
are you trying? Are you actively sending him games that you think?
No, because
make him a
he
Steam.
always
Next time you're over there, make him a Steam account, right?
Yeah,
and
walk him through it.
Give him FTL.
Make
know what I
him
mean?
learn how to hate Epic. You know, the normal.
Yeah, I got you
Like,
Steam,
see,
so
Dad,
automatically you have
that
to hate
program. We don't
Epic.
touch that program unless we absolutely need to. And fuck
Yeah.
it.
I would give him a game, and he would just be like, I know the type of game he'd play. He'd play like a farming simulator or like
There you go. There's
There's
literally one called that, dude. But you haven't tried this.
No.
The
But
reason-
the thing is, that's what he's doing during his day. He's just gonna get home from doing whatever he's doing, and he's gonna go on the game and do what he like. I just want him. I think it would be cool for him to expand his horizons and see, what gaming has become. But
How about
I don't.
How about you just get him playing a game that you think, and then we'll work from there. The only reason I'm so hard on you guys about this is because, like, I wish my dad would even touch a controller before he died, But yours played online games, dude. That's saying something. That's so much further. That you're already at the finish line, as far as I'm concerned. I couldn't even get my dad to the track. You know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
don't
You're gonna be in the
feel the
parking lot
need
of
to
the track,
push
dude.
gaming on anybody.
It's not
I don't know.
pushing.
It's pushing.
It's not pushing because, well, I guess so. But it's only because, like, that they would enjoy it. There's probably a backgammon online league you have not introduced them to, Bobby.
There is.
There is. There has to be.
Yeah,
There's
maybe.
if
But
there's
you
a
haven't
bridge
done the
online
work.
league, there's backgammon.
He nutted in your mom, and now you're here, but you can't do the little thing of, like, finding a backgammon link for him?
You act like this is somehow going to enrich his life.
Yeah, of
so
course.
much.
You don't think that he thinks about backgammon daily or like once a year or sometime? Of course he wants to play backgammon. He can't find anybody. He's bugging you guys to play it. That means he's lacking opponents.
He's
Find
"All
him
my friends are
opponents."
dead. I
I'm
have no one
sure
to
if
play
he really
backgammon
wanted
with."
to, he knows how the internet works. Like, I'm sure he could go and find games if he wanted to.
Okay,
But
Bobby.
I,
He's
I
gonna
don't know.
die, and you're gonna be really
My
upset.
at his funeral,
Yeah.
I'm going to get up there
No.
and say, like, I really wish
No
I would have gotten my
backgammon.
dad into online gaming. You know, just some real elite shit would have been cool.
Elite
But
shit.
My dad played Fortnite. It would have been better.
Bobby, would your dad ever do the podcast?
no.
Yeah, he would, but he would never invite him. Not in this hole.
Dad,
It's
stop
90
fighting.
degrees in here right now, I think.
It is so hot in here. I don't think my brain is functioning correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, next question from Warconius. Favorite snack or beverage while gaming? Have your gaming taste changed now that you're an awesome old person now? And that question is directed towards Emilio. So two-parter here.
Definitely booze. I love drinking and gaming. I got some shit early on from Sam about it. He's like, "You're drinking alone at home?" No, I'm with thousands of friends right now, and that was a big. No, you're alone. I'm like, no, I'm not. Leave me alone. And so yeah, definitely that. And then, nuts. I really like Costco's mixed deluxe nuts. Like it'll fill you up. They're so delicious and
They get
cheap.
a fucking giant Brazil nut in your thing. And
Yeah.
You're like, God damn, what the fuck is this thing?
Yeah.
This is a rock?
Brazil nuts are really tasty.
Huge.
Yeah, they're really big. They're like cockroaches. So there's that. And then as far as changing, yeah, definitely I'm getting away from first person shooters. I'm just not as good at them anymore. I put me in a giant mech where a one-on-one fight takes 10 minutes. I do a little bit better than the Twitch. I'm just getting older.
Well, first-person shooters haven't really changed much either.
No, I have, Bobby.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but also, like, how long are you going to do the same damn thing, dude? Just like click somebody in the head. I mean, the stuff around the first person shooters changed. There's different like progression systems and whatever, but like it's kind of the same. It boils down to the same gameplay.
That said, I do need it in my life. Like I was talking about last week. Every once in a while, when I sit down, I'm like, I need to shoot things, especially in the head if I can. So I'll just load up Risk of Rain usually. But now I have Roboquest, and that's filling that like. There's something to it, whatever it is. It's not the killing. It's not the. I don't think it's even. Maybe it's just the point and clicking, with some risk involved. It scratches an itch that I need to scratch probably once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys, favorite snack or beverage?
I'm gonna go with Tex-Mex Trail Mix from Target. All my friends fucking hate me when they see the tub of Trail Mix come out. And then favorite drink is gonna be Tropical Red Bull, the yellow ones.
Tropical Red Bull.
What do you got going for snacks, Bobby? I never see you snacking.
Soylent.
No, I don't, especially while I'm gaming, I don't really like to drink or eat because I get stuff on my keyboard and then I have to pee every 10 minutes. So if I can, I avoid doing that. Of course, I used to always have the rock stars out when I was gaming, but don't really do that anymore.
Back when you were a rock star, dude.
Yeah, back in those days.
I like a nice, solid baked, multi-layered lasagna. With beef in it, meat lasagna. I think that's really good when gaming. Crunchy on the top, very crunch. The top pasta, the top lasagna pieces, got to be like 50% crunch, and that's like perfect while gaming, dude.
Like
Like
when
yum.
you're in the lunch line at school and you get the corner of the mac and cheese.
Dude, come on, that's like the lottery, right?
Jesus Christ.
This is your gaming snack food.
Yeah. What's wrong with
okay.
that?
No, it's just kind of odd. You want like a main course for your gaming snack.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I eat a lot. It's fine. You don't have to say the subtext.
No entrees over here. Just right to the main course.
Yeah, lasagna. And beverage, I like anything. What's the word? Bubbly. Those little bubblies. Carbonated water. I really enjoy carbonated water.
Mm.
Yep.
You're all.
Carbonation.
Yum.
All right. If I feel like it's a cop out not saying anything. I will say like, okay, so snack food that I enjoy. You know what I love is those Gardettos. You guys ever had those?
No, what's that?
Gardettos.
Gardetto.
It's like it's like a trail mix, but it's got the big brown pieces are really where it's at. You can get them with just the big brown pieces, and that's if you can do that. It's very salty and vinegary. Dude, do you guys have 7-Eleven where you're at?
Yeah, we have 7-Eleven, but I've never seen this before. These are
Do you know what Gardettos are,
gingerbread
Emilio?
cookies?
No. Yeah, no, they're not gingerbread. Definitely not. No, this is like a salty, vinegary kind of crunchy snack.
Yeah.
Next time you're in 7-Eleven, look for them. It'll probably be there. But
Yeah, it's very good. It's not the best, I wouldn't say, but it's very good.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
What do you like to drink?
Drink water. Yeah.
Electrolytes, they help with the computing.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Some riveting stuff.
What do we got next? There's so many of these.
Zap.
All right. Zap is up next. What are some of your favorite gaming content creators? YouTube, Twitch, or podcasts?
I'll just go down the line. YouTube, I would say Hot Ones. That's the one thing I see it pop up. I'll watch the episode almost
They
always.
said gaming content creators.
Oh, is it gaming?
Creators.
Oh,
Yeah.
then I don't really watch anybody. As far as gaming, I'll say Angry Joe because he made that Street Fighter game. But I don't watch anybody in there. I don't watch anybody on Twitch. Chi. I'd shout out to Chi. Smoochie. SMOOXCHI. I don't even know if he streams anymore. And podcasts, us. I listen to us.
Yeah.
I don't partake in a lot of the content.
Yeah, I mean, either not gaming content.
No,
anymore.
I would say almost all my information comes from PC Gamer, and that I Google all that. So
yeah, I mean, before we did the podcast, I felt like I needed to tune into a podcast about gaming to be aware of what was going on. But now it's just like something I do every single week is what's new, what are we going to talk about? So I don't really need the updates.
yeah.
That being said, yeah, I don't really watch Twitch anymore since Heroes of the Storm. I don't really listen to any more gaming podcasts. And YouTube, the only thing that I still watch is occasionally Yahtzee Croshaw, and then I still watch Jim Sterling, or Stephanie Sterling as he's going by now. But
Did he transition?
yeah.
Hmm.
So I catch his show on Mondays, and it's really weird because I've been watching this guy for a long time since he was with The Escapist, like 10 years ago. And just the journey this guy has been on, probably why I have such a bitter attitude towards gaming. But like every episode of the Jimquisition now is just him railing against like AAA companies and this or that. And he says, I know you guys get tired of seeing the same content, but I've been covering this for like 20 years and it's the same shit. So what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And
But it has better graphics, Bobby. It's shinier shit. Not even that these days.
yeah,
We're not even seeing jumps in graphics.
dude, I
anymore.
haven't even bought a new graphics card in 4 years. So.
Yeah. Why would you? Other than Cyberpunk, and then even that.
Yeah, there hasn't. I've ran into some games that Deus Ex Mankind Divided didn't run very well on my computer. So, I mean, yeah, there's some games out there, but those aren't the games that I usually play.
Yeah.
Don't need much for Card City Nights running on the Unity engine.
Sorry, everybody's eardrums.
Okay. What about you guys? Nick?
Oh no, he's muted, but
Yep.
he's talking.
Mandalore Gaming, hands down best reviewer on YouTube about like the most random fucking games. And any others, I'm gonna go as far as like Twitch, Pay Money Wubby. It's more of a troll streamer, but he still reviews games sometimes. That's it.
I don't really I don't really follow creators too much. I mostly just search something and then click on the first couple videos. But I will say, good friend, Controlled Pairs for tactical shooters. That's someone I know I can trust and a listener to our show. So shout him out, his YouTube channel, Controlled Pairs Gaming. And then another YouTuber for strategy stuff, Gamer Zach. He just plays the same game as I play, so I see his name coming up a lot, and we generally agree on stuff. So
Is
that's
that how
who I
you found
follow.
that game that you were talking about?
No, someone from work told me about this game, but
Damn.
it is like who reviews like Evil Geniuses 2, and I don't know. I found about a lot of games from him, so he's a good guy.
Cool. I always fuck this up. The guy who does the buy, don't buy, wait for sale, or stay away. Who's that guy? AGI or something like that? Gaming? You know, you
Is that
guys
the
know.
before you buy guy, or I've seen those ones?
He has like 4 ratings. It's like buy, rent, or whatever.
ACG.
ACG.
Okay.
Yeah. I trust that guy. I don't know. There's something about his channel. When if I'm like, I'm not sure if I spend $60 or something, I'll definitely, because he does a really good job of his videos. And I just,
That's saying it's worth a buy. Is that the guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the guy.
Cool.
Anytime I see these videos, I always look at how long they are because there's so many video game reviews. It's like 40 minutes. I'm not watching that, dude. Come on.
Dude, when I
No.
was, movies on the DL, check it out. That's our other movie podcast. I was looking up reviews for Showgirls, right? And some of them are an hour long, dude. And it's just about one movie, which is 2 hours long. It's like, I would really, really, really have to be into this movie or really, really hate it to watch
There's some good stuff out there, though. Like really popular, not Red Letter Media. Is that right? Red Letter Media? Shit.
Yeah, that's
Letterboxd?
familiar.
Yeah, I think that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah, Red Letter Media. They have really long videos, and they're really good, man. Like they actually, and they put in the work. You know, they're pretty good.
Can the auxiliary content be better than the original content? Probably it can be, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch all their stuff. They got a bunch of different styles, but like when they talk about the new movies, they'll cover like 2 of them, and it'll take about an hour, and it's really good stuff.
That's 2 hours.
And I never, I like I just said, I never watch long content, but I've been keeping a pretty close eye on this channel.
And look at the quality of their plywood stuff, backgrounds.
And they have the same red couch as us. Oh, Red Letter. That's probably where it comes from, right?
I mean, these guys have been around forever. They were very famous. God, like 15 years ago, they made this movie or this video about the Phantom Menace, talking about everything that was wrong with it. Who wasn't doing that 15 years ago? But yeah, they've had Macaulay Culkin on their show. Anyway,
JP is asking the real questions here. Emilio breaks both his arms. How do you decide each week during the cast which of the other casters helps him pee and make his drinks until it heals? I gotta imagine it's Samantha. I'm gonna have.
well, I don't think anyone needs to help you pee.
How am I gonna?
You broke both your arms?
I'm guessing this is what he's talking about. This kind of thing.
They're like in cast, pointed
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
You're not even going to fit in the bathroom like that.
I'll go sideways, Bobby. Things can happen.
Okay, not this bathroom over here. You're gonna have to go upstairs for that. You can figure out the peeing on your own. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and she would make the drinks too. I mean, this is all in a perfect world where I can convince her to do all these things.
Yeah, or you could just get a catheter, which probably would be a good idea anyway, considering how much you urinate.
And knowing Nick, he'd probably send me something he found on the internet. It'd just show up one day after the cast come off, and it'd be too late. But yeah, I'd get some like
The real question is, how
Warhammer
did you break both your arms?
furious masturbation. But no,
Two-handed?
You're also going to need help with
two-handed.
that, right? That's the real, that's the real plot here.
Yeah, I'd get some like Warhammer 40K themed Stein with like this big metal straw that came out like after my. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna use this. Oh well, here it is. All right, next question.
Okay, next question is from Hagelfosh. She says, my mind has been blown with the influence that Asmongold has been shown to have with his Final Fantasy XIV streams. It's acknowledged that he has single-handedly made the game enter a renaissance. 200K live viewers, millions of views on his clip channel. Final Fantasy sold out of digital copies last week.
How do you run out of digital
How do you
copies?
sell it? What the fuck? How is it even possible?
It's
Well,
bandwidth, dude. The bandwidth exceeded. They couldn't deliver them, so they had to stop the sale.
Well, you have to. Somebody has to generate the copies, right? You have to generate the copies, but it's an older game, right? So they probably just ran out.
Were you guys
That's
familiar with this
bonkers.
guy, Asmongold? Really popular WoW
I
streamer.
am.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Oh, go ahead.
no, sorry, go on.
I was just
After
going to say
you.
I've watched him a little bit when I was playing a lot of WoW, but that's about it. But I guess, yeah, I know he has a huge following, but
I mean, not DLG levels, but pretty good.
Pretty close. Like,
but I don't know. I mean, it is kind of weird that one person has such an influence, but I'm not really surprised by the effect of that streamers have on the selling of games, because that's been a marketing strategy for a really long time now. Is get the games into the hands of the streamers, get them out there talking about it, playing it, people watching it, and then the game will proliferate.
and I will say it's not just, I mean, huge, like he's done a lot for Final Fantasy, but you get one person playing it and they're going to want to play with their other streamer friends. And it's just like, you get the ball rolling a bit, the snowball goes down the hill, right? So it's
Well, that's
not
what
just
brought the space game hide and seek.
Among Us.
Among Us, yeah, that's
out of
what.
nowhere, out of obscurity into prominence.
Mhm.
yeah. And
That's going to be the name of my biography, by the way.
It usually only works if the
Yeah.
game is super accessible, like Among Us. And then for Final Fantasy, they have a free trial until you're level 60 with unlimited playtime. So if you're a viewer of Asmongold, you can go play and join the experience with them. That's a big part of,
Yeah.
selling out of digital copies. Anyone can play.
What's his thing? Is he very good at MMOs? Is he good at min-maxing or?
I don't know. I
Good
think people like,
personality?
yeah, he's good at the game. I think all streamers are because they play them so much. But I think people are drawn to his personality. I wasn't, but I don't know. I guess he has an appeal or a draw with some people.
Je ne sais quoi.
I wonder, God, if you guys had that kind of pull, what game would you resurrect here?
Oh, if I
Star Wars
could do
Galaxies.
Star Wars
100%.
game.
Yeah, dude.
What's up, guys? Here,
Yeah,
just checking out this new game, Star Wars Galaxies. Going to see what it's all about.
Yeah.
like and subscribe. I'd play EverQuest to the point where Sony would make a new EverQuest that actually is worth its salt.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
I gotta go.
I'd play EverQuest to the point where they'd be like, "This is
Oh,
marketable."
okay. So you'd force them into making a new version.
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'll
Nick.
see you
go
guys
ahead.
next week. I gotta head out. I didn't realize how late it was.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Later, man.
Talk to you guys. Bye.
Wow. Has that ever happened before? Mid-stream, someone's left?
That's how boring this show has become.
Well, that's gonna mess
I
up.
thought he was cutting in to like tell us something profound, but no.
No, he just wanted. Yeah, I messed up
wants
the
to
record. It's fine. Whatever.
All
It's
right.
cool.
You're just gonna see our feet. We're gonna have the foot cam over here. The
Good.
Gam
That's
Cam.
hot, dude.
It's a Gam Cam.
Tune in.
Don't slam the Gam Cam, dude.
Tune in for the Gam Cam. Oh man. Okay. Well, yeah. You can look at our legs instead of Nick
And my
for the rest
gut,
of the show.
dude. It's the worst shot. It's the worst shot. All the worst things about me are in that.
I can try this one, but that's not much better. That's
Oh,
even
no.
worse.
Leave it. Leave it. You're making it move.
All right.
If you stand perfectly still, the T-Rex can't see you, dude. I'm gonna try to not breathe.
Okay. Is that all our listener questions here?
That's it. That's all. We're out.
Okay.
All right. Next week, I guess we're playing Rogue Squadron. Rogue.
Yeah. Was that the game? That
Rogue Battalion. Rogue Squad. Squad Rogue.
Is it the Star Wars one? What is
No,
the game?
no. It's It's a game on Epic. That's all I
Free
know.
to play game on Epic.
Go to Epic and put in Rogue and see what comes
Wow.
up, dude.
Guys, this is quite the hook. I can't wait for next.
No, I
episode.
know. No, once we see what it is, the majesty, then we'll paint the picture.
Okay.
Rogue.
Rogue
Epic.
Company?
Uh,
Maybe?
Yes, Rogue Company. Yes.
Okay, Rogue Company.
That's the one that I was looking out for.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll all be playing this. We'll be talking about that. And for me, I don't know, maybe some Card City Knights 2.
Bobby, you're gonna make me play. You're gonna make me buy you that fucking boomer shooter. I'm gonna have to.
If I remember what the name of it
Yeah,
was.
if we could find it.
Yeah, because that did look pretty good, but I've totally spaced on the name. Pretty sure it's on the wish list. But yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what comes up.
All right. For me, Roboquest anytime. Like that's the go-to multiplayer as far as I'm concerned right now. Unfortunately, it's only 2 players. I did talk about playing Street Fighter miniatures game on TTS because I saw it on TTS and then we couldn't find it. But apparently, you have to be a backer in order to have access to the file that they made, which John is. And I was trying to play with John, but maybe we both have to be backers. I don't know. We didn't want to figure it out. We only had a couple hours to play, so we decided to
Oh,
go.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
really
not
interesting.
free. I've never seen that on TTS before. Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
Okay.
So besides that, I'm not gonna lie, been really getting into Binding of Isaac lately, and I can't give it up. I can't. It's an obsession, folks. To the point where like I was playing on the computer, which is in the kitchen now, and Sam was playing on the big screen her own game, and like it's just a Binding of Isaac household, guys. That's all it is. All right. Speaking for, what about you, Chris?
I want to play some more Old World, but it is great that your children are growing up in a gaming household. I feel like that's cool that you're giving that to them.
Yeah, and like you could say it's violent or whatever, but generally you're just fighting against poop. There's a lot of poop and blood and bloody poop.
And who doesn't like a bloody poop?
I mean,
right?
it's funny. It's the first thing. Like Luna's first joke. She's 1.5. She's just getting language down. This is her joke that she has now. She says "bye bye caca," like later poop. Like she's calling you a poop when you leave. That's her
Damn,
thing.
she's gonna be a sassy one, dude.
Yeah, she's gonna be sassy. Speaking for Bobby, Christian, fuck Nick for leaving us, and myself, poop tits. Oh, gross. Gross.
What bloody poop titties? That's
Oh
great.
my god, dude. Oh, apparently Luna called Sam's nipples caca the other day.
That's so rude.
She's like, "That's what you think of my nipples?"